Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and my honor to call on a leader whose tech-volutionary ideas and policies have placed Nigeria on the global digital map. And he has inspired a technological revolution in Africa. He is the first and only African to be conferred with the fellowship of the Chartered Institute of Information Security. He is a chartered computer scientist. He is a chartered IT expert. He is a chartered cybersecurity professional. He is a fellow of the British Computer Society. He is a fellow of the Nigeria Computer Society. He is our father, our boss, our mentor, our leader. It is my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to respectfully request Nigeria's Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Ibrahim Pantami, to give us his special remarks.
The Chairman, Senate Committee on ICT and Cybersecurity, my brother and friend, Senator Hussein Yaqub, my elder brother, the Minister of Information and Culture of Nigeria, Alhaji Lai Muhammad. Sorry for all the troubles online, please. I sincerely apologize. Our keynote speakers, particularly the Secretary General of Digital Cooperation Organization, Her Excellency Dimal Yahya, and also my colleague and also friend, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy of the Gambia, His Excellency Usman Ba, representatives of Secretary to the Government of the Federation here, PS, Permanent Secretary General Service Office, and also the Permanent Secretary representing the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, and also my colleague, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, and also the representatives of service chiefs here present, also the chairman and CEOs of parastatals under the supervision of the ministry, also CEOs from other ministries, industry players here, other policy makers here with us, change makers here with us, speakers, participants to the conference, good afternoon to all of you, and may peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you. On behalf of my principal, President Muhammadu Buhari, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I want to use the opportunity to welcome all of you for creating time out of no time to attend the Digital Nigeria International Conference taking place here at the International Conference Center, Abuja, with a very important theme of digital transformation, a path to sustainable digital economy. The theme is very apt, and I want to use the opportunity to remind us that yesterday we celebrated and commemorated our Digital Nigeria Day, which happened to be the 24th of October of each and every year. Mr. President has approved the commemoration of 24th October of each and every year to be our Digital Nigeria Day, because of the fact that he transformed and approved our new mandate on the 17th October 2019. That was presented at the Federal Executive Council on the 23rd October 2019. A day after, that is 24th October, we kickstarted the implementation of the digital economy for Nigeria. Because of this, 24th October of each and every year marks our Digital Nigeria Day. Coincidentally, that 24th October happens to be the United Nations World Development Information Day, in which we are urged to create awareness about the positive impact of ICT towards our economic development, security, poverty eradication, among many others. So yesterday was our Digital Nigeria Day, and at the same time, United Nations World Development Information Day, based on the resolution of the UN with number A/RES/65/141. So yesterday we celebrated both of them. In the morning, we attended Digital Nigeria Day. In the afternoon, I was at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa with our elder brother, the Minister of Information and Culture, to commemorate the United Nations World Development Information Day, where we had an international celebration because Nigeria is hosting the event this year under UNESCO. Physically and virtually, around 166 countries participated in our celebration yesterday. Furthermore, I just want to use the opportunity today to remind us about the digital economy in Nigeria, the journey so far. And I will only speak on this topic superficially, and I do hope that that will make us to appreciate the gains we have attained so far. As I earlier mentioned, the new paradigm shift from just ICT sector to digital economy sector was approved on the 17th October 2019, presented at the Federal Executive Council 23rd October 2019. Implementation commenced on 24th October 2019. Yesterday was exactly 3 years. On the 28th of November 2019, we converged here at the International Conference Center, where His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari launched and unveiled the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy for a Digital Nigeria. It was on 28th November 2019. However, we started the implementation prior to the unveiling and launching. After unveiling and launching the document, which has 8 pillars, pillar number 1 is developmental regulation. Pillar number 2 is digital skills and literacy. Pillar number 3 is solid infrastructure. Pillar number 4 is service infrastructure. Pillar number 5 is digital services development and promotion. Pillar number 6 is soft infrastructure. Pillar number 7 is digital society and emerging technologies. Pillar number 8 is indigenous content development and promotion. In order to simplify the implementation of each and every pillar, we developed another independent policy under each and every pillar in order to simplify its implementation. And under some pillars, we developed almost 3 to 4 policies. Within the last 3 years, we have developed 19 national policies, and at least 17 of them are all being implemented today. And this is unprecedented in the history of Nigeria as a country. It has never happened. 19 national policies, and a minimum of 17 of them are all being implemented. Under pillar number 1, developmental regulation, the regulatory bodies under the ministry, NITDA, NCC, NIMSI, developed many new regulatory instruments, and particularly regulatory instruments to facilitate development. That is why our regulation in the sector is developmental regulation, not in any way to restrict or jeopardize development, but rather to facilitate it. And it is what brought about the most recent and brand new Nigeria Startup Act 2022. My friend and brother, the Chairman Senate Committee on the ICT and Cybercrime, commended the National Assembly, which I strongly agree with him, and I want to use the opportunity to commend the leadership of National Assembly, both Senate and House, and at the same time our committees for the support they have given to us. However, after his speech, I secretly and silently but wisely reminded him that Nigeria's Startup Act is an executive bill initiated by the executive arm of government. He said, yes, I agree with you. With this, my boss, President Muhammadu Buhari, deserves to be commended first. We crafted the bill, and I presented the bill before the Federal Executive Council on the 15th of December 2019, and it was approved there, and I was directed by His Excellency Mr. President to immediately liaise with our colleague and brother, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, to ensure its transmission to the National Assembly. We did so in January after completing the process. And from January to October, National Assembly did all the public hearings, stakeholder engagement as part of their lawmaking process. The second hearing, the third one, and return it back to Mr. President within a period of 8 to 9 months. This is indeed highly commendable. As we know, lawmaking process is a very rigorous process. Sometimes certain bills span over 10 years, but in this situation, from start to finish is within less than 1 year. It was approved at the Federal Executive Council on 15 December 2021. By 19 October 2022, it became a law in Nigeria. And to show to us the approach we have adopted in that was more of organic approach, where we organize stakeholder engagement in each and every zone of the Federation. We brought together our young innovator startups, listened to their challenges, their complaints, and we accommodated all these complaints and challenges into this bill, and without removing any major observation from them, it becomes a law. And I was surprised. Just 2 months ago, I received an email from Massachusetts Institute of Technology that they had been monitoring our progress in Nigeria. MIT is the best university globally based on the QS World Ranking, not only for last year or a year before, for more than 10 consecutive years. They had been monitoring our progress. They sent an email to me commending the effort of coming up with Nigeria's startup bill and their willingness to learn from what we have been doing, and also to know whether my position as the champion of MIT RIP played any role in coming up with the bill or not. Look at the situation. We are working here in Nigeria, but the best university in the world from the US, monitoring our own progress and sending an email requesting for a public engagement so that they will learn from what Nigeria has been doing. And at the same time, to identify whether my position as the champion of MIT RIP played any role there or not, so that this will associate them with the success. And this is from the US, not from Nigeria or any African country. I had an engagement with them. They invited their professors. We had an engagement. They asked some questions, and it was an open discussion. Many participated all over the world. This is to show to us that at least with all the challenges we have in Nigeria, digital economy sector is one of the sectors that are performing, and the whole world acknowledges that. And the credit should go to all the stakeholders, and most importantly, my principal, President Muhammadu Buhari. When it comes to pillar number 2, digital skills, DG spoke on MOU we have signed with Microsoft to train Nigerians, 5 million Nigerians, not just on digital skills, but high demand digital skills, cutting edge digital skills, meaning that the training will identify global vacuum in the digital sector, and this training will focus on how to provide skills to our citizens so that they will be able to fill up this vacuum. In addition to so many programs we have, so far, through our initiatives, when it comes to training on high demand or cutting edge within the digital economy sector alone, our local training here through government without involving other private institutions, we have trained 823,232 Nigerians on a cutting edge digital skills within this period of time. We have established over 2,000 ICT sectors all over the country for training. Some of them as Digital Nigeria Center, some Digital Economy Center, some ICT parks, some knowledge-based center. From start to finish, within 3 years, we have established over 2,000 ICT centers in Nigeria. And with all sense of humility, we have many of these centers in each and every state of the Federation. Furthermore, pillar number 3, which is solid infrastructure, which has to do with broadband penetration. By August 2019, when I was appointed, the total number of base stations we have in Nigeria, the total number 13,000, but today we have 36,000. By implication, the increase is over 165% within a period of 3 years. 4G penetration in Nigeria then was 23% in 2019. Today, 4G penetration is over 77% in Nigeria. Internet subscribers today in Nigeria, we have over 152 million internet subscribers. And this is in summary. When it comes to digital service infrastructure as pillar number 4, we also have so many initiatives under service infrastructure, including our ICT project clearance being coordinated by the National Information Technology Development Agency to ensure government interoperability. Through the process, we have been improving the quality of government ICT processes, services, and products, among many other initiatives. When it comes to saving government costs, initially ICT clearance used to save around 12 million naira quarterly. 12 million naira quarterly. But from last year to date, the quarterly saving through ICT project clearance, quarterly, meaning 3 months, is over 10 billion naira. The annual saving is over 44 billion naira. This is an amount of money. If the project is allowed to be implemented without going through the process, that money will disappear. Within 1 year, over 44 billion naira has been saved for the government of Nigeria through that process. Under pillar number 5, which is digital services development and promotion, we have so many initiatives there, because through ICT project clearance of other government institutions, we have cleared over 1,600 projects so far, and all of them have to do with automation of government processes in order to save time, improve precision and accuracy, and at the same time, accountability, which is very important indeed. Most of the discoveries we are having in this Nigeria, without IPPIS, GIPMIS, and TSA, with all their weaknesses, it will be difficult to intercept. It is because of the technology. Even if the corruption, the corrupt practice is perpetrated and perpetuated, you will be able to intercept. And that is the benefit of technology. It may not prevent somebody from committing, but if he commits, he will be intercepted easily. And this is indeed very important. We have been intercepting so many things, reporting to government institutions without in any way complaining. Even a month ago, I have written a letter to anti-corruption institutions inviting them to investigate certain government institutions with regards to certain allegations happen online. So whatever we see, we report to them without making noise. And through that process, a lot is being recovered, and at the same time, many things are being intercepted. And most probably, we will write another letter to report another institution based on what we have seen online with regards to certain things. And I don't want to speak further on this. When they investigate, they will make it public. Under pillar, also number 6, soft infrastructure, let us not forget that we have established Tier 4 data center in Kano, a world-class data center, in addition to our NICTIV2, National Information and Communication Technology infrastructure backbone of the federal government of Nigeria. Our plan, by the middle of next year, we want to ensure that each and every state of Nigeria is connected with government fiber optic. So far, we have covered around 26 states, and we do hope within the next few months, each and every state of the Federation is going to get connected to government fiber optics so that our citizens can benefit from that intervention. When it comes to digital society and emerging technologies, it's about inclusiveness. We have some states that have introduced digital economy. Some of them have established a Ministry of Digital Economy, like Imo State government has established a full-blown state ministry of digital economy, and they have seconded one of our staff to serve as the pioneer commissioner in that ministry from the federal government of Nigeria. And when it comes to emerging technologies, the whole event, this one, focuses more on emerging technologies. Prior to that, in 2021, we have established the National Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics. On behalf of my principal, President Muhammadu Buhari, I personally directed the National Information Technology Development Agency to change the scope of the project I initiated while I was there to focus more on emerging technologies. Because today in the digital world, you must be proactive before you become successful. If you are not proactive, you cannot go anywhere. It is because of this, in 2021, we won Global Best Prize in artificial intelligence. This year, we attended Gulf Information Technology Exhibition with over 100 countries, and a young Nigerian emerged as the global best. Under indigenous content promotion and development, there are so many initiatives. There is no time to speak on a larger scale. However, it is important to recognize that we have developed national policy on the indigenous content in the telecommunication sector. And that office, policy established another subsidiary under the Nigerian Communications Commission, that is National Office for the Development of Indigenous Content in the Telecoms, and with the acronym of NODIT. This office is identifying our talent, our capacity, and ensuring that we don't allow the importation of any technology into Nigeria until and unless we are convinced we have no capacity to develop it. But any technology that we have the capacity to develop, that importation is not allowed. And any position to be publicized, even in the private sector, as long as there are Nigerians that have the capacity to take up the challenge, then it is not allowed for you to bring somebody from outside the country, except if there is agreement of knowledge transfer. But a minimum of 40% of our products and our services must be retained for Nigerians. And so far, so good. A lot has been achieved. to the extent that by 2019, we were importing even SIM cards. Today, we have established manufacturing plants in Nigeria to the extent that we have the capacity to develop SIM cards not only for West Africa, but for the whole of 54 African countries. At the final stage, as the theme of the conference reflects, is about digital transformation, a path to sustainable digital economy. Digital economy was introduced into Nigeria formally in October 2019. So far, 3 years. By the time we came on board, the contribution of ICT to GDP was not really encouraging, particularly if you look at the percentage of increase. In the first quarter of 2020, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, ICT contributed 14.07% to our gross domestic product. That record, as at 2020, was unprecedented in the history of this country. A year later, we set another unprecedented record. In the second quarter of 2021, ICT sector alone contributed 17.92% to our GDP. As earlier stated by the Minister of Information and Culture, our elder brother Lai Mohammed, there is no doubt ICT sector, or the digital economy sector, not ICT, is the fastest growing sector. Because starting from 2020, the ICT sector grew by 14.72%. It is the only sector that grew by double digits. In 2020, if you add the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth fastest growing sector combined, their growth rate, all the remaining six, their growth rate was not up to that of the ICT sector alone. This year, 2022, we set another record in the second quarter by contributing 18.44% to our GDP. This is another record. So by implication, from 2020, 2021, and 2022, we have set 3 unprecedented records when it comes to ICT contribution to our GDP. In addition to remittance to government, in 2019, when we came on board, the quarterly remittance to government was averagely 51 billion naira. Today, our average remittance to government quarterly is 408 billion naira. Look at it, from 51 billion naira to 408 billion naira remittance to government. And it is because of this, my elder brother is here. We recently concluded ministerial retreat organized by the Office of Mr. President and coordinated by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation on the 17th and 18th of October 2022, just last week. In that retreat, an independent institutions were engaged to evaluate each and every ministry and each and every sector from the time we were appointed to date. They used the baseline that was submitted to government after our assumption into office. Baseline was established, and we signed an undertaking with Mr. President. Each and every minister signed an undertaking that these are your priorities. And at the same time, these are your ministerial deliverables. All of us signed that undertaking. It's just like a promise that you must go and deliver. And this is the first time, to the best of our knowledge, that this happened in Nigeria. Not our swearing in. No, this is another undertaking, not in public. You have to agree and sign that this trust is given to you and you must go and deliver it. That assessment of the performance of all the sectors and the ministries was presented on the 18th on the 17th October 2022. My permanent secretary was there with me, and I believe other permanent secretaries here were in attendance, including some selected CEOs. We were given 8 priority areas, 8 ministerial deliverables, and independent organizations were engaged. The first one is a Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office from the United Kingdom, then KPMG. Both of them work in collaboration with the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The 8 areas we were given with all sense of humility. In each and every one in the digital economy sector, we got a minimum of A+++. If you want to get a minimum passing mark for A based on their template is 70. In each and every item, if you get 70, you get A. The first one given to us, number 1, is broadband penetration. And there is a target for each year. Based on the independent assessment, under broadband penetration, we obtain 134%. 134%, meaning the minimum A70, maximum A100, we exceeded the target given to us. So by implication on that A, we increase another 64% after obtaining our A. And this assessment is based on what they presented at the ministerial retreat while Mr. President was there. His Excellency, the Vice President was there, President of the Senate was there, and even Speaker, House of Representatives was also there. Number 2 is under 4G deployment in Nigeria. Under 4G deployment, 70A, but we got 127% under 4G deployment. Number 3 is the digitalization of government processes based on certain priority areas given to us. That one we got 99%. Number 4 is digital ID for our citizens. It is the minimum scores. We got 86%, but don't forget 70 is 8. We got 86%. And in that regard, you may not appreciate what we have achieved in the digital ID until you go through the lane of history. NIMSI was established 2007. And I took over the supervision of NIMSI in October 2020. After how many years? After 13 years of its existence. The entire database I inherited, based on the report submitted to me from the DG's office of NIMSI, the entire database within 13 years was 39 million citizens. But within 2 years, from October 2020 to October 2022, we increased the database to 91 million, meaning an increase of 52 million citizens within 2 years, while what we inherited in 13 years is only 39 million citizens. And in that 13 years, go and look at the money budgeted for NIMSI. You will just be amazed. But within this period, at the time we attend that, even 1 billion was not released to us at that time for anything. It is only recently that Mr. President approved certain benefits for NIMSI and certain benefits for the institution to replace their obsolete infrastructure. We did so without any major intervention. Number 5 priority area given to us was national digital economy development. National digital economy development. We delivered that by a minimum of 103%. Number 6 given to us is to optimize and enhance revenue generation. I have mentioned that earlier to you, that from 51 billion naira quarterly to 408 billion naira quarterly, up and approximately. Under that item of optimization of government revenue, we got 594% as from the independent assessors. 594% from what we are remitting to government from the sector. 594%. You will not appreciate that percentage until you know the difficulty of revenue generation. Spending money is easier, but generating is difficult. So if you are comparing us with any other sector, be just to us. Look at our situation. We generate for others to spend. What we generate, we remit. For 5G, for example, during 5G, the reserve price for 5G was 70 million USD. I insisted there must be auctioning. We did the auctioning. Instead of collecting 70 million USD, that price catapulted to 273 million USD per spectrum. An increase of 203 million USD per spectrum in Nigeria. And in that money, even 1% is not returned by our sector. We remitted the whole money to government 100%. We don't even return 1%. So don't look at institutions spending. Look at the institutions that are generated. Generating money is much, much difficult than spending the money. Spending the money is not difficult. If you give me any sector where I will only collect and spend, most probably I could deliver some by 1,000%. But the difficulty is in our own case. We are anticipated to generate and give to other sectors to spend. Where we don't spend it, we only generate. And in most cases, we remit 100% of our revenue generation. We don't take even 1%. Priority number 7 given to us is to collaborate with the private sector to create many more jobs for your citizens. Under that one, we got 111%. 111%. And the last one is empowerment for citizens. Under empowerment for citizens, we got 137%. So by implication, in all of them, we got A+, A+, A+ to the end. And averagely, under each item, we delivered an averagely 137% if you take the average. Because of this, of recent, Mr. President has recognized our effort by the conferment of the digital innovation on this gentle boy on behalf of all of you. Last Friday, I was in the presidential villa for the conferment of that, in addition to his personal commendation to us in writing. He commented on that revenue generation to us in writing. What he wrote with his pen to me is, Minister, well done. That was what he commented. And this is just in summary what we have been doing. Because of time constraint, as a teacher, I think I need to stop here so that I can just be brief. I do hope that we will have a very successful Digital Nigeria International Conference, and at the end of the event, we will appreciate a communique where all stakeholders will come together and implement. May the Almighty bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For my elder brother, Alhaji Lai Muhammad, the Minister of Information and Culture, he jokingly mentions the difficulty that online activities are causing to his sector, fake news among many others. But maybe he forgot to mention, but I have been supporting him in that regard. Any initiative he comes up with to ensure the sanity, we give him support 100%, because our ministries are interwoven. So we must work together for Nigeria and Nigerians. May the Almighty bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you all for listening.